Hey there, and welcome. So today, we're going to tackle one of the trickiest parts of learning English. I'm talking about irregular verbs. But don't you worry, because by the end of this, you'll have a super simple and powerful strategy to finally master them. You know, if you've ever felt completely confused by verbs like ate, or went, or spoke, you are definitely not alone, I promise. It's a huge challenge for pretty much every learner. So let's figure out what's going on. All right, let's dive right in. To solve this whole irregular verb problem, we first need to get a really clear picture of what makes them so, well, so different. Okay, so here's the crucial point. Regular verbs, they're predictable. They follow a nice, simple rule. You just add ed to make them past tense. Walk becomes walked. Easy. Irregular verbs, though, they just break that rule completely. It's like each one has its own unique, secret past tense form. And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's not just you feeling this way. Even the experts get how tough this is. So really, don't be hard on yourself if you make mistakes. It is all part of the process. So why do we even have these things? It's actually a pretty cool piece of history. These irregular verbs aren't just random mistakes. Nope, they're actually the oldest verbs in the English language. Words like speak and eat go back for centuries. It's the newer verbs like to Google that follow the simple rule. We just say Googled. All right, so how in the world do we actually learn them? Well, the secret is not to try and memorize a giant list all at once. The absolute best way is to start with the verbs you're going to use every single day. Just take a look at this list. These are 10 of the most common irregular verbs in English. And here's the good news. You probably know most of these already. You're already using them. Getting this core group down solid is going to make a huge difference in your daily conversations. Now, this is where things get a whole lot easier. I know these seem chaotic, but a lot of these irregular verbs actually follow hidden patterns. Once you learn how to spot them, memorizing them becomes, well, it's a game changer. Okay, let's start with the absolute best group. These verbs don't change at all. Put in the present is put in the past. Cut is always just cut. It's the easiest pattern to learn, because you literally don't have to do anything. Okay, next up is a really common one. Here, we're looking at three forms: the present, the simple past, and the past participle. That's the form you use with have or has, like in I have sung. And the pattern? The middle vowel changes from an I to an ah to a u. The trick is to learn them like a song. Sing, sang, sung. Drink, drank, drunk. That rhythm really makes it stick in your brain. Here's another fantastic pattern that's all about sound. Lots of verbs that have this ought sound in the past can be learned together. Bring becomes brought. Buy becomes bought. Can you hear that rhyme? It really helps connect them in your memory. And finally, keep an eye out for verbs where the past participle, that have or has form, ends in n. This is a huge clue. Speak, spoke, spoken. Drive, drove, driven. So when you learn a new verb like speak, check and see if it follows this very common n rule. Okay, so now we know what verbs to focus on, and we've spotted the patterns. Now let's talk about the single most powerful technique for actually getting these things to stick in your memory for good. The key is something called spaced repetition. So instead of cramming everything at once, you review your flashcards right when you're about to forget them. Maybe after 1 day, then 3 days, then a week. This process basically tells your brain, hey, this stuff is important, and it moves it into your long-term memory. It's science. And you can totally do this the classic way with paper flashcards. It's simple and it really works. Or you can use digital apps on your phone, which are super convenient and often have that spaced repetition system built right in. Honestly, both are great options. Now, if you do go the digital route, here are two really popular choices. Anki is incredibly powerful and you can customize everything, but it can take a little time to get used to. Then you have something like Quizlet, which is way more user-friendly, but you might need the paid version for the best features. The key takeaway here, the best app is simply the one you'll actually use consistently. Now, let's get practical. Learning the system is one thing, but the real progress, the real learning, happens when you start putting it into practice yourself. So, this is how you make the perfect flashcard. It's so simple. On the front, just write the base verb, like to eat. Then on the back, write both the past simple and the past participle forms. Ate, eaten. Then you just test yourself. Look at to eat and say ate, eaten out loud before you flip it over to check. And hey, don't just stop with flashcards. The more you actually use these verbs, the faster they'll become second nature.
Try writing a few sentences about your day. Listen to simple English songs and see if you can spot them. Or just make a chart of the patterns we talked about and hang it on your wall. Active use is everything.
In fact, let's try it right now. Just think about your days so far. You ate breakfast. You went somewhere. You saw someone. See? You're already using these verbs without even thinking about it. The trick is just to make it personal. So I'm going to leave you with this question to practice with. Try to answer it using at least 3 irregular verbs. What did you do today? What did you make? What have you seen? Keep practicing just like this, and I'm telling you, you'll get the hang of these verbs in no time.